32. The largest uprising since the Civil War. When you picture armed Americans fighting on home soil, you picture the 1860s. But the largest labor uprising in U.S. history happened from August 25th to September 2nd, 1921, in Logan County, West Virginia. And most Americans have never heard of it. Around 10,000 coal miners, crushed by company rule and policed by Baldwin Felts detectives, tied red bandanas around their necks and marched on Blair Mountain. Waiting on the ridge was a defending force assembled by anti-Union Sheriff Don Chafin. For 5 days, the two sides fought. Roughly 1 million rounds were fired. Privately hired planes dropped homemade gas and explosive bombs on the miners, and President Warren Harding finally sent in the U.S. Army, which broke the march. At least 16 people died. Nearly 1,000 miners were arrested. For decades, almost no one taught it. Some even traced the word redneck to those red bandanas. 31. The deepest cut east of the Mississippi. Everyone knows the Grand Canyon. Almost nobody realizes there's a gorge on the Kentucky-Virginia line deep enough to earn the comparison. It's called the Breaks, a 5-mile canyon carved by the Russell Fork River, dropping as much as 1,650 feet straight down through Pennsylvanian sandstone. That makes it the deepest gorge east of the Mississippi River, and it's protected by the only interstate park in the southeastern United States, run jointly by both states. They've called it the Grand Canyon of the South for generations. And for once, the nickname isn't just brochure talk. Every October, dam releases turn the Russell Fork into Class 5 whitewater. But the canyon sees a fraction of the crowds the Smokies do. Most people live or drive within an hour of a place like this and never know the ground opens up that far. 30. The tree that built the mountains and then vanished. If you'd walked an Appalachian forest before 1900, 1 in every 4 trees you passed would have been the same species, the American chestnut. They were giants, up to 100 feet tall, trunks wider than a doorway, and they fed everything. Bears, deer, turkeys, and entire mountain communities lived on the nuts that rained down each fall. Families paid their taxes with them. Then, in 1904, a forester named Herman Merkel noticed trees dying at the Bronx Zoo in New York. The culprit was an Asian fungus, and it spread south through the mountains at 50 miles a year. In roughly 40 years, it killed an estimated 3 to 4 billion trees, the largest hardwood in the eastern forest, erased within a single lifetime. The species isn't extinct. The roots still send up doomed shoots that die before they can seed. Scientists are now breeding blight-resistant hybrids to bring back a tree almost nobody alive has seen standing. 29. The ancient scars where the sky fell. Tennessee looks gentle and settled, rolling farmland and quiet ridges. But hidden in the rock are scars left by a kind of violence the surface has long since forgotten. Near the town of Cumberland City in Stewart County sits the Wells Creek structure, a roughly 7.5-mile wide ring of shattered, deformed rock with a strange peak thrust up in its center. For decades, geologists were baffled by it. In 1960, the answer arrived. They found shatter cones, the diagnostic fingerprint of a hypervelocity impact. Wells Creek is an astrobleme, the eroded scar of a meteorite roughly 200 million years old, holding some of the finest shatter cones in the world. A second one, the Flynn Creek structure in Jackson County, was blasted out around 360 million years ago. To be precise, these two counties sit on the Highland Rim just west of the main Appalachian provinces. But the bedrock wounds extend into the wider Appalachian region. The craters themselves wore away. Deep in the rock, the violence is permanent. 28. The mountain sliced open to show 350 million years. When engineers want to put a highway through a mountain, they usually tunnel. In western Maryland, they did something stranger. They cut the mountain in half. To carry Interstate 68 through Sidling Hill, crews removed about 10 million tons of rock between 1983 and 1985. Leaving a notch 340 feet deep straight through the ridge. What they exposed stopped geologists cold. The walls reveal a near-perfect syncline, a massive U-shaped fold where stone laid down around 340 million years ago was bent like soft clay by the collision that built the Appalachian. You can read it like the pages of a book turned on their side. There's a pedestrian bridge over the highway just so people can stand and stare. It's one of the finest exposed rock formations on the East Coast, and most of the cars speeding through never slow down to look.